Hello, it's the first day of the OWLs Magical Readathon, and this is my vlog for it. So I decided this morning that I'm going to split this into two parts, so there'll be a first 2 weeks of the month and second 2 weeks of the month, because I didn't really want to do weekly vlogs. I could change my mind with this and decide that it's going to be really long if I don't do weekly vlogs. I don't know, we'll see. I'm very conflicted. I don't know what people like with reading vlogs. Whatever. I was also going to put mascara on today, but then I was like, why? I barely even know what day it is. Time is a social construct. Illinois has been on shelter in place for like a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks, and I have not left my house except for to go grocery shopping twice. And I also have like driven around in the car a couple of times but not gotten out of it since March 9th. So thankfully we're still allowed to like leave our houses and like walk and stuff. This has put my job search on hold indefinitely until all this is over, so I don't have to be working or anything, and just, you know, chilling, screaming inside. But that's the perfect time for a readathon, obviously. So the first book I'm gonna pick up is Crier's War by Nina Varela. When I was looking at the books that I picked for my TBR, I still want to read all of them, but I just like wasn't drawn to one in particular, really. I'm still having a poll for one of my books, so I'm gonna see which one I'll read next from on Patreon and stuff, because every month my Patreon supporters get to vote in a poll for a book that I'll read that month, and then we buddy read it together. So I think Gosgrave is gonna win, and I'm pretty excited about Gosgrave, but I'm just waiting for the results of that first. So yeah, decided to pick up sci-fi because I really haven't read a sci-fi in a while, and this is supposed to be female romance sci-fi. Hopefully it'll be a quick read. We shall see. But I'm about to go for a walk with the dog. It's very nice weather out. She's probably sitting right outside my door right now. She's waiting. I just finished my walk for an hour with the dog, and it's gorgeous out. And a lot of people were sitting in their front yards when I was out walking, so I was like, I'm gonna do that. So I set up a little chair my mom had in the basement, and my book and my water, and I'm gonna read outside. I'm going to give some plant baby updates intermittently throughout this video, like right now. Look at this Scindapsus. There's like a little guy going on right there, if it'll focus, yeah. And then this leaf is new, and there's more growing out here, if you can see him. And this baby seems to be getting longer. I think down here I have a peduncle, yeah. And that's what leaves start growing out of, so. They're doing so good because it's springtime. So it's the end of day one. I just got done filming because I realized that I could film at night and no one would be up to walk around and make noise because I film in the basement, which is just a great revelation, although I don't love filming at night because I'm not that kind of person anymore, but I used to film all my videos at night, so it's just like a weird flashback moment. But I am over 100 pages into Crier's War and really enjoying it so far. I'm finding it very readable. I'm finding it very interesting. It's almost like it's more almost like a fantasy feel than a sci-fi, but it's sort of sci-fi because like some of the characters are like cyborgy automatons that are like made, but they're made in almost like a fantasy way. So like it feels like a mix of sci-fi, but it's definitely more fantasy, which is not quite what I was expecting, but I'm still really enjoying it. So far so good. Definitely intrigued, very readable. I would love to like read this in like 2 days. That would be so good. I just feel that. I don't know if that will happen, but I'm gonna read a little bit more of it tonight, but I'm gonna get ready for bed, so I'm not gonna film again. But enjoying this thus far. Hey guys, it's day 2 of the readathon, and I'm about to take Tally for a walk again. Really, most of these days are gonna consist of me being like, I'm about to go for a walk. I just got back from a walk. I just did these few things that I can do while in, you know, isolation from others. But I am now a little over 200 pages into Crier's War, and this is about a little over 400-page book, so I'm almost halfway, and I've really done like fuck all today besides read and then watch a ton of YouTube tutorials on polygel manicures and stuff, because I think I'm gonna have to switch to some kind of at-home thing for my nails, because it's been 3 weeks since I got my nails done, and I'm not gonna get my nails done anytime soon because social distancing. So I have to find a solution, and thankfully my lovely friend Victoria from Victoria Shaz has been doing her own nails at home for a bit, and she gave me some recommendations, but I am still feeling fear about it. Also, the time it's gonna take to get the stuff I need is gonna be like another month. It's just, oh, I'm nervous. Anyway, not important in the grand scheme of things, but daily struggles are still a thing and aren't lessened by, you know, world catastrophe. So I do think I'll be reading more of this today at some point, obviously. Honestly, I would love to get through like another 100 pages because this does just like fly through. What I'm liking about it so far is that, like I said before, it's kind of a mix of fantasy and sci-fi. Like, it's not super sci-fi, but for some reason I can't shake the sci-fi vibes, which is fine. And then it almost has that like dystopian feel, but what's interesting is that the like robots or the AI or the like made things are actually what are in power here, not the humans. So that's like a nice twist and is just interesting. So I'm intrigued about this and what we're gonna see and stuff. I like the political intrigue and the machinations and all that stuff. It's very fun, easy to read. So I would like to finish this like tomorrow, to be honest. And if I get another 100 pages read tonight, I could, and that's possible. Unless I keep watching more nail videos, which is also possible. Hi, it's still day 2, but I haven't really done, I don't think, any more reading. I'm gonna do some reading now. It's like 11 o'clock at night because time no longer exists during a pandemic and it's a social construct. So I don't even know what like a normal sleep schedule looks like anymore. But I've spent most of my afternoon since I got back from my walk looking at YouTube videos on how to do your own poly gel nails. And I was also editing my own video because I got a free trial of Final Cut Pro because there's like a 90-day free trial on the Apple website, which I thought it was just 30-day and it's 90, which is crazy. So I've been learning that, and that is just, I hate learning new software. Legitimately, I hate learning new editing software. I haven't had to in like 5 years, and I just hate it because I haven't started doing anything fun with it yet. Like I haven't added anything new. I'm just learning the basics of what I already do. So in my head, I'm like, why am I doing this when I could just be editing in my normal program way faster? But I'm like, you're doing this to learn it so you can do fun things later. I get that, but it's a very complicated program when you compare it to my current one. So yeah, but that's the point. It's actually more intuitive, I think, in the long run, but I'm just so used to my other one anyway. So I need to read some more because, again, I would love to finish Crier's War, like, tomorrow. I know I don't need to, but I'm just feeling this, like, comment down below if you relate, but during, you know, social isolation, physical distancing, social distancing, quarantine, whatever you want to call it, I am the only thing that I'm kind of using as like a productivity marker because productivity does make me happy, and I get that during a pandemic you don't need to be productive. I understand that. But for my mental health, I do to a certain level. And reading is still fun productivity, and I'm still able to read. I went through a period at the beginning of March where like I wasn't reading much and it was just a little bit harder to focus. And I'm kind of getting into a stride now that it's been nearly a month that I've been doing the social distancing. So I feel like I just want to like get all the reading done, you know, just to like feed my brain those neurotransmitters of like, I don't know, dopamine and serotonin and all the good ones. And then the next book I plan on picking up, I think is going to be God's Grave because that did win my Patreon book pick poll. So we're going to be all buddy reading it. So I'd like to get it done like soon in the month so that as people read it, I can read all of their spoiler comments and not be spoiled. There'll be so many parts of this video where I'm just like staring into space, like I hate it here. I hate this timeline. I honestly do. I'm getting ready to do some yoga. I do yoga like twice a week these days because that's when both of my parents tend to be gone. My dad still works a part-time job at a pharmacy and my mom takes daily walks. So on the days that line up that he's working and she's taking a walk, I can use the living room. Yes, my mom does cover the furniture with sheets because she likes to think that protects the furniture from my dog's fur. So I'm doing that, and I'm doing the yoga with Adrian stuff, and she did like a 30-day yoga program in January. She does that usually. I don't do it 30 days continuously. I just follow it every time I do yoga unless I feel like doing a different kind of yoga. And we're on day 4, and it's titled Activate. And I just don't... I'm gonna do it because I think I want to do it, but I'm also just like, I don't want to activate anything right now. But usually I do it and I feel better. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like some core activation. And I'm like, my core wants to be lazy. Let's get into it. Hi, it's the evening of day 3. I think the last time you saw me, I was about to do yoga. Yoga was a delight. I was gonna record myself, but it ended up being a lot of like mat work. So the video wouldn't have been very good anyway. And you're supposed to be in the moment with yoga. So it was very nice. It was some core activation, but not a ton. It was just like full body activation. It was just great. It was just, whenever I do yoga, at the beginning sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to. And then I do it and I'm like, I just feel better after. And I feel like I'm getting like better at it. I was doing classes at the Y before I had to obviously like be home and do the yoga videos. And I did the yoga videos way before doing anything at the Y, and then just could never get into it. I always felt like they lasted so long and whatever. And then since I've done classes at the Y, the yoga videos feel like they're even shorter, and I feel like I'm getting better at stuff. Like I feel like my downward dog's improving. I'm sure it's not great, but I feel like it's getting better. Anyway, you're not here for that. I also went for a walk and got a order of loungewear in the mail because I realized that I'm gonna need some more house clothes, and I got some things. I had to exchange a few things, but I got some things, so happy with that. But I did just finish Crier's War, and this was an unexpected I want to say delight. I've been saying things are a delight lately. I wouldn't quite say it's a delight because it's not that kind of book, but this was an unexpectedly good book. For some reason, whenever I looked at this before I read it, I didn't really know a lot going into it besides knowing that it was a female-female romance. And the last book I read like that was Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst, which I found so disappointing and was just revolving around the romance, which is not what I wanted out of that book and isn't really what I wanted necessarily out of this book. And that's not what I got. The romance is a decent subplot, but the plot and the like world is actually fairly interesting. There's parts about the world that I feel like are very like, I don't know, you have to kind of give it a minute because a lot of things are capitalized, kind of like early 2010s things, but it's not like that. It almost has that like dystopian feel at the beginning and then you're like, wait, no. It's a lot more like fantasy, but almost like fantasy AI, which was interesting again. And there's a lot of just like political machination stuff. And it was just a lot more fun, very readable. This is actually a series, it's a duology. The second book comes out in September. But if this was a series that both books were already out, I would have just binge read both of them because I think I liked this. It was about like, I would say it's a 4-star, but I'm not sure if I'll be as engaged with it by the time the second book rolls around. So this would definitely be a series that I would like binge read both books. But again, I thought it was well done. I liked it. But I'm kind of torn about what I want to read next. I think I'm gonna go for God's Grave, but part of me doesn't want to quite read God's Grave next. But part of me kind of does. I don't know. I'm just having a very hard time. Like, I want to read all the books. I want to read everything. I want to read all the books that I own. And I want to read the books my TBR that I just can't prioritize right now what like I really want to read. I think I need to go for God's Grave next just to like really get that one off the list. Because there's a chance, I think, that if I really liked that, if I really like God's Grave and just want to like finish out the series, which might happen, I can change one of my prompts and use God's Grave for like the shifter kind of prompt. I think that was like transformations class or whatever. And then use Dark Dawn for the winged creature or vice versa. Like I could use either book for those prompts and not read one of the other ones if I want to just finish the Nevernight series this month. But that's just why I want to get God's Grave read sooner rather than later because it is a longer book and blah, blah, blah. So that's what I'm leaning towards, but you'll know if that's what I go with the next time that you see me. Also, I am reading Island Affair, which is a contemporary book, and that's for the contemporary prompt, technically, but I'll be reading probably contemporary books on my Kindle. I was pointing to my Kindle, which is behind me. I'll be reading Kindle books, contemporary Kindle books, like all month, so really any of those could fit for that as well. Hello, it is day 6. I did not update on day 5 because I was having a social media detox day, so I limit my social media as is with being home all the time. I just don't want to be on my phone constantly anyway. But I really hadn't done a complete detox since like maybe January, but I think it was before. I think it was like December or November. So yesterday I didn't go on social media like at all until right before bed, and I'll tell you why in a second. But I was off social media, so I like didn't think to vlog like for some reason. And also like yesterday was just a blur. I did yoga, I went for a walk, I edited videos, I watched Never Been Kissed for the first time with the group of us that watch rom-coms every week. It's open to everybody, link is on my Twitter. And we watched Never Been Kissed and I'd never seen it. And it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Before y'all get mad at me and start like downvoting this and like commenting, that movie has to be watched with nostalgia goggles on, and like everyone I was watching it with agreed with me. It's not a good movie. You have to go into it with nostalgia goggles. If you watch it now, it's horrible. It's horrible. Like even people that loved it were like, oh my god, there's a lot of stuff in here that's like really cringy. There's a lot of stuff in here that's very like of its time, but it's still very inappropriate. And the whole premise is that a 25-year-old woman goes back to high school, sort of has a crush on one of the high school students, gets over that, has a crush on the teacher. The teacher thinks she's 17, not 25, and he is forming a relationship with her. And all because he's been with his girlfriend for 5 years and she kind of wants him to grow up, and he's like, I don't want to. So he has a crush on his 17-year-old student. And then when he finds out that she's 17, he's like mad at her for lying to him. And being like, oh, the whole thing is like, oh, you were going to use this as a story. It's like, yes, it is a story that you in fact were falling in love with someone that you thought was 17 and using your power for bad. It's bad. There was nothing about it that I liked. Well, Gus and Anita, who are two of the side characters that she works with, I want to see their love story. But other than that, I'm like, this movie was a horrible 1 star. So yeah, the nostalgia goggles have to be on for that. We've watched a lot of movies that hold up over time during this whole like rom-com rewatch, and teen movies are hard to have hold up because they are so of their time, and then this was just like very inappropriate. So that happened, and then later on in the day I needed to like cleanse, so I finally convinced myself to download the like premiere rental, because it's still technically supposed to be in theaters except for theaters are closed, of the 2020 Emma movie, which was a whole delight. I'm not going to talk about it here because that would make this video super long, but it was perfect. It is now in the same tier for me as the 2005 version of Pride and Prejudice. It has like longing and pining, but also comedy. It's beautifully shot. The acting is great. I loved all of the interpretations of things. I like literally don't have any complaints about it. I'm also not someone that's like super attached to Emma as like a book or whatever. Like I've only ever watched adaptations, but I love it. And I plan on buying it for real when it comes out on Blu-ray, and it was great. And I plan on watching it again today because you get it for 48 hours. So I'm gonna watch it again today. I've been screeching about it on like Instagram and Tumblr, so you can check there because this will be coming out way after I watched it, but I love it and I will rewatch it forever, and it makes me deeply happy. So today I actually did my nails. I'll show you what happened. So I started using Polygel for the first time, which is like a hybrid gel for my nails to hold them over until I can go back to a nail salon. So this was just like a fill. I have a chrome powder from back in the day when I used to do my own nails. I never did my nails with fake nails. I always used to paint my nails. And I didn't realize that it was a blue one, so I did this like blue, and then it was just like whatever, fuck it, and then did the rest with this color. So my other hand is all this color. This hand shouldn't be seen, but I'm also just not going to take it off at this point. And it actually went fairly well. It took like 2 hours, but it was still like, you know what, I'm home all the time. I have tons of spare time. I can't go to a salon, so I'm going to do this because I can, and it's like fine from a distance, and all I really need to impress with my nails at this point is like you guys from like a distance that you can't scrutinize them. So I think they look pretty good. Actually, my like non-dominant, the one I did with my non-dominant hand, almost looks better because it is like all one color. But yeah, I did that for most of my day, and then I've read 100 pages, like I'm up to page 102 of God's Grave. So I do plan on for the rest of the day, I just took the dog for a walk, I do plan on for the rest of the day to just like read God's Grave, I think, and then rewatch Emma and maybe like edit a video. But that's kind of where I am. I want to get some more progress on God's Grave because I didn't read quite as much. I read about like half as much as I wanted to read yesterday. So I think I want to get some more read of that because I would like to finish that in like a couple of days, definitely by the end of the week. I mean, I know it's like a big book and I'm only 25% of the way into it at this point with the 100 pages read, but I would like to get this read like and finished by Friday. Honestly, by like Thursday would be preferable, and then be able to start. I think I'm gonna read The Glass Hotel next because that's our book club pick for this month, so I want to get that taken care of, and then decide if I want to just go on to Dark Dawn after that. We'll see. Hello, it is day 9. As you can see, I'm trying not to update every day unless I have an actual update because my days are a lot of the same, and I really don't want to have an update every day where it's like, I read 60 pages, that's it, bye, because then this vlog will be forever long. So I'm trying to only update when I have something slightly interesting to say. But I am 342 pages into God's Grave, so I think it's like about 80%, honestly. And I think I've gotten to the point of no return with this where I just need to keep reading. I would not be shocked if I finished this tonight at some point. I've enjoyed it the whole time, but I think this is kind of similar to Nevernight, where like I hit a certain point, it's like, oh my god, like all the things get revealed. And I do know, because people have warned me, that this ends on a cliffhanger, so kind of mentally preparing for that, but I would not be shocked if I finish this tonight at all. I'm also doing laundry today, that's why all my bedding is gone. Also, I made an order for puzzles last week because my family and I, mostly just my mom and I, but mostly me, and she admits this too. We did a puzzle last week, a 1,000-piece puzzle that we finished last week, and then we ordered like 3 more puzzles from an independent shop in Boston that is still open just for the shipping and stuff, and they have all these like precautions and stuff, so it's supporting a independent small business kind of thing. So we ordered 3 puzzles and they're very reasonably priced, and it was fantastic. So I recommend that you order from like a local company or something, them maybe, whoever. I mean, you can look up whatever puzzle stores that you went to that are still going to be open that are reasonable and are not like Amazon and jacking the prices up, because they can. So, well, not necessarily them, but like the sellers. Anyway, I recommend looking for actual puzzle stores to support during this time. So providing you with that good indoor hobby content, these are all 1,000 pieces. So I got one that's Glacier National Park. Can you see it? Oh, there we go. There we go. And this one that's called The Climber. This brand is one of my favorites. You would probably recognize them if you go through like the puzzles at Barnes & Noble or anything. And then this one, which is like birds and nature and plants and stuff, really embracing a certain kind of vibe. I just really want nature puzzles right now. So my mom and I want to start this one next. So this is the next one that we'll be doing. So yeah, now I'm just gonna get back honestly to reading God's Grave because it's kind of all I want to do right now. Even though my friends and I are talking about playing The Sims, and I might buy it because right now it's like $5 for a digital download, but I don't want to start playing The Sims until after this month because I will get sucked in and not do literally anything else. So still trying to do the book goals for now. Do you hate when your hair just is like limp like that? Oh my gosh. Anyway, I did just finish God's Grave as expected. I basically read this like all day. I feel like I was maybe 60% of the way through at the beginning of the day and I read the rest of it today. I feel like I was maybe less than that, I don't know, but I read most of this today. So really loved it, 5 out of 5 stars. Way more twists than I even expected and I like literally never see them coming. So loved that. And I'm definitely gonna be reading Dark Dawn this month. I'm not going into it immediately because I'd heard for a while that God's Grave had a cliffhanger. So I was prepared for it and knew that I didn't necessarily want to jump into the next book, Dark Dawn, right away. So there's really like 3 cliffhangers in God's Grave, honestly. But yeah, I still want to read it this month just because I think it'll be really fun to just kind of like finish it out all in one month and be done with that series and have that off of my TBR and everything. So I think I'll use this for the prompt with like beak on the cover, creature with the beak on the cover, and then I'll use Dark Dawn for like a white cover because obviously it's like mostly white. So that'll be perfect and I'll finish that. But before I do that, I'm going to read at least The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel because that's our House Salt book club pick. So I'm reading that next. And I might even read one more thing before going into Dark Dawn. I don't know, because I kind of feel like, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I kind of feel like I might not want to like binge read it. Like I might find myself like putting it down more because I don't want it to end, or it's just like so like anxiety producing. So we'll see. I am also reading a contemporary right now that I haven't mentioned, but I think I'm like 40 or more. I think I'm about 40% of the way into it. And that one's a really cute little break as well. It's like a hate to love office rivals, but also there's travel and this girl's trying to like refind her happiness. So she's going to all of these places that she went to on her summer abroad, or actually year abroad, after college. And during that time she fell in love with 3 different men. So she's trying to, in like different parts of like countries and stuff, like one in Ireland, one in France, one in Italy. So she's trying to like find them. And I love a lot of those tropes. So that's been really fun as well. So I'll probably finish that within the next couple of days. But yeah, I don't think I'll update any more today. So I'll see you guys tomorrow or the next day, probably tomorrow, because I'll update on how I'm feeling about the books that I start. Hey guys, it's day 10 of the readathon and I just got done filming, which is why I have makeup on and look different. But I've read 110 pages of The Glass Hotel since my update last night. So this is actually a super quick read. I plan on finishing it tomorrow, honestly, which would be Saturday. So I'm hoping for that. I'm whispering, well, I'm not whispering, but I'm talking quietly because I'm out in my living room and my parents are sleeping. But I'm surprised at how quick it's reading. It's a literary fiction book. So I thought it was gonna be more of a slog, but it's not. It's only about 300 pages and it's just, I don't know what it is. Emily St. John Mandel, man, she just is a quick read for me. So I'm probably gonna read maybe 40 more pages tonight before I even go to bed tonight, and then read the rest of it tomorrow is the plan. And then I think I'll read one more thing before diving into Dark Dawn. I'm not sure though. We'll see what I feel like. Hi, it is day 11 and I just finished about an hour ago The Glass Hotel by Emily St. John Mandel. I really ended up enjoying it, finished it in 2 days, which is just crazy fast for reading a book. Even if it's only 300 pages, like it's still a lot of reading to be done. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a little bit less than Station 11 probably, but I still felt like the same way. Just Emily St. John Mandel does a really good job of like character studies and stuff. So I'll talk about that more in like my wrap up and everything, but enjoyed it. Conflicted about what to read next, but I think I'm gonna go with the last book in the Kingdom on Fire series. The first book is A Shadow Bright and Burning. I forget what this one is. It's out in the other room, but I don't feel like grabbing it right now. And I did count, and of all of the different prompts that I have left in the 3 different careers I chose, if I read all of them that I need to hit all 3 careers, I have to read 5 more books, and 2 of those are graphic novels. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I think it's gonna be great. And I actually might be reading more. We'll see what happens next week with the next week's vlog. But I think I'll be reading more than just these prompts. Then I'll just go through and try to finish as many prompts as possible and like go through and see what other careers I could possibly hit. And that'll give me a ton more choice for the newts when I'll probably be more busy because hopefully life will have started up more by then. We'll see. Hello, it's day 12 and I just got back from a walk with the dog. She's very sleepy even though it's not even that hot out yet here. So tired. And I'm about 60 pages into A Sorrow Fierce and Falling, which is book 3, the final book in the Kingdom on Fire series. I wasn't able to find a recap anywhere, like Recaptains, like any of those sites did not have a recap of the second book, which is a little disappointing because I don't feel like there's hints here and there of what happened. But I feel like there's little points that I'm not really necessarily missing points because like the key points I know and remembered from the plot of the second book, but I feel like I'm not as like in it. And there has been some time that's passed. So yeah, I'm hoping I'll get like back immersed, but there's some things that I've definitely forgotten about like certain characters and things like that. So that's a little sad, but I really can't do anything about it because I'm not going to reread the second book. And there's like not a lot of stuff about this because it's an underrated, underhyped series. So yeah, but enjoying it so far because it's just like a really fun, readable series. And then Sarah Jane and I every Sunday do a rom-com watch, and we talk on Discord with anyone that wants to join us. And so today we're doing 10 Things I Hate About You, which is about to start. Hello, it is day 14, so it's been a couple of days since I updated, I think. That's my dog barking in the background, and she's been quiet all day until I turned the camera on. So I have finished A Sorrow Fierce and Falling. I read it really fast, but, and I read all of those books fast, but it was a bit disappointing. I almost feel like it needed to be 4 books. I put this in my review. I'm going to talk about my wrap-up, obviously, but I kind of feel like it needed to be 4 books because I loved what it was doing, and I love how how everything ended up, and it's different than a lot of YA series, and it's a little bit like darker, and it sort of walked in its darkness so that like Wicked Saints and that could run, although they are very different kinds of stories. Like Wicked Saints is like next level goth, and this is like a few years ago, like soft goth, you know? So I really liked all of that, but it just didn't have enough time. So I really feel like it could have been a 4-book series, and then it would have had enough time for all of the things that happened to happen at a good pace. So that was a little bit disappointing, but I basically have been, I've been binge watching Grey's Anatomy, which I've been wanting to watch anyway, and then I turned on Lifetime today and there was a marathon on, so I've been watching all of season 6, and during the commercials, I read my book. I put the commercials on mute and I read, and I got through 200 pages of the book because I think, yeah, I had about 200 pages left at the beginning of the day. So yeah, and it's only like 7 o'clock here, so I still have plenty of night to read. So I've decided to actually read Descender Volume 1 and 2. So Descender Volume 1 will be for the potions class, and this is a reread. I've read both of these before, but I want to reread them so that I can, when I get my TBR down all the way, which will be in the next couple of months sometime, I do plan on buying the rest of the series and reading the rest of the series. So I'm just kind of catching up. So the first volume is going to be for potions class, and that's read a book under 150 pages. And then the second volume, I didn't have my TBR, but I actually decided to read this one instead. I was originally going to read Monstrous instead of Descender, but I realized that I wanted to read Descender Volume 1 and 2 because I've reread Monstrous a couple of times, and I didn't really want to like jump into Volume 1 again. I kind of wanted to read Volume 2. I don't know. I just kind of decided I wanted to read this one because actually the title of the series is Descender, but the volume title, so like the book title, is Machine Moon. So this is for, I think, herbology, which is read a book that starts with M. So really, since this is a series title, the book title actually counts for the M. So I'm going to reread these two because I don't think I've ever reread them, where Monstrous I've reread before. And then I will be able to probably in the summer sometime be done with my TBR and read the rest of this series, which I really love. So I'm gonna reread these, and then I'll probably read Storm of Locusts and then Dark Dawn after that. I'm really close to where I could potentially read books for all of the classes for OWLs, which would be awesome. That wasn't what I originally planned, and I'm still gonna try to get my original plan done first, which is only reading, I think, 4 or 5 more books. And if I want to read all the books for all the classes, I have to read 7 more books. So I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I'm pretty sure 5 will. So I know I'm gonna hit all the prompts for the 3 careers that I decided to go with potentially. So I'm gonna hit all of them, pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure that that's gonna happen because we're only halfway through and I'm going along at a good clip, and 2 of the books are graphic novels. So yeah, that's gonna be really exciting. And yeah, so like I said, Storm of Locusts and then Dark Dawn after these is the plan. And then I'll be kind of going off the rails a bit and going for books that fit the other prompts that I didn't really even do a TBR for. Hello, it's 2 o'clock in the morning on day 15. So really it's day 16 now, but I haven't filmed my day 15 clip to round out this first half of the OWLs Readathon. Have I been wearing this hoodie in every clip? It's possible. I think I have. I've watched it a few times during this vlog. So last night I finished the first volume of Descender. I played the final mission of Mass Effect 3 because I've been playing that game for a while. I just keep milking it, and I was like, you know what, it's time to finish this game so you can play other video games, which I'm not going to do this month because if I play a new video game, I'll just get sucked in and only do that. But now I'm ready for next month when I can maybe play video games. And then I started yesterday and then into today, Storm of Locusts by Rebecca Roanhorse. So I'm 137, I think, pages into this, and this is only a 300-page book. So I will probably finish that tomorrow. That's the plan. And it's urban fantasy, and it reads super, super fast. The chapters are very short and everything. So yeah, that's the plan. But I'll talk more about that in the second vlog for this month. So yeah, I was thinking about this today, and I'm like, is this vlog gonna be super boring? It's possible, but my vlogs when I actually did stuff were also super boring because I would never record myself doing stuff. So let me know if you're just okay with me providing updates like this. I'm wearing mascara today. I also had lipstick on at one point today just to feel like a human. But that is it for this first part of the OWLs Readathon vlog for this month. Comment down below, let me know how your OWLs Readathon is going. And I will see you at the end of the month for part 2 of this. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.